Welcome back to Factorio Masterclass. My name is Nilaus and we are back here on Fulgura. We are continuing here on Fulgura. I am very much enjoying the challenge of getting rid of the scrap and the filtering. It's such a fun challenge. I think it's actually the funnest challenge of the Space Age, the dealing with scrap. It's unfortunately not necessarily the best, but you can very early in the game get a lot of good quality materials, and that's all about what we want to do here. We want to be getting sort of a steady supply of lots of quality materials, and we are continuing with this. This time. So last time we built these configurations here, and if you didn't watch it, then go check out the previous episode of the masterclass where we did the sorting and got a lot of rare components for everything. So we're going to continue by using the rare components and also sort of going in a little bit deeper and saying, yeah, we have all the normal rare components, but we do not have Holmium, we do not have superconductors, we do not have supercapacitors in rare or higher quality, and those are needed. Particularly the superconductors are needed for the quality modules. So that's super important. Then and this is also used for some of the other things here on this planet. So we also want to start making a quality hub here on this planet so we can then do it. And we're going to do it in a little bit different from what we did on Volcanus, where we did sort of upcycling of final products. Here we're going to use the normal or the rare components to make rare or higher quality components. And it's basically a choice for you which one you prefer, whether you want to prefer the Volcanus one or the Fulgura one here. So that's the objective. I will just say that between sessions I have built this train unloading station that takes care of unloading the uncommon, the normal ones on one side and stacked, and also the uncommon or higher, also make sure that is always stacked using this method here of just filtering based on what we have. This is what we did in the previous episode. And I've also included a generic loading station here that loads. This is definitely what you want to do. You want to load directly from these in here, and that means you need as much mining productivity as possible. Those are of course included in the blueprints for patrons, as well as some minor tweaks and updates for this, including this monstrosity that I put in here, which generates an extra amount of quality green circuits, because green circuits tend to run out and the components also need it. So on a 1 minute cycle, this little thing here adds 35 blue circuits for purple circuits. No, they're all green circuits, but rare quality, epic quality, and legendary quality. So basically like round numbers for adding this one. Whether you like it or not, I don't like it, but it's actually kind of good. So I'll keep it there for a bit. Anyway, that's updated also the blueprint. So let's get that into the actual design phase here. What we want to do is we want to make a modular design for, let's say this here, that one. We want to make here Holmium can be made here. We know this one, and the thing is you can't make this higher quality because it only has a liquid input, so that sucks, which means it's going to be an absolute nightmare for us to upgrade it, upcycle it. We are going to need some good we don't quite have this. This is going to be our baseline, and this is where we kind of want to just get this in here, and that's there. So that's powered, and this will make 9.6 per second, but we only want to use the stuff that's higher quality, so anything that's uncommon or lower quality will just be thrown out immediately. And I don't have this on my hotkey. This really should have that one. So that will be here, and this one will also get some quality modules, and I'm going to be taking anything, and that's what I said, was anything that is uncommon quality or lower will just be thrown in here. There. And then we will have the little issue here that this will, when it deletes the Holmium reverts into itself, so it'll just be more Holmium. Then we could put it into boxes, but I actually want to put it in everything goes out here, but I then don't want to take anything that is, we'll just make a little carousel here. There, very small little carousel that just needs to circle around. So now anything that stays common or normal or uncommon quality will just be picked up again and recycled again and again, so that the only thing that remains on this little carousel is the higher quality stuff. So we want to get the higher quality stuff out, and we'll do that by getting here and here. This one will just do the rare quality, because that's what we fill up, and then this one will do the epic or higher quality. There. Oh, epic. There, epic or higher quality. That will get us there, so we'll also need to do these. And then make sure these are aligned and these are aligned. Good. So now we have normal and uncommon goes in recycle. Rare goes into the box, which will eventually fill up, and then we don't want to produce anymore. And if we get anything that's epic or higher, we just put it into a box to throw it away. So that's this part. So let's go backwards in the process and figure out what this one has to do. The one thing that we really want is we don't want to have a beacon affecting us, because then it destroys. This one will also be fast. There you go. So this destroys the quality, and now there's minus 9.5 quality. So if we want a beacon, it has to be down there. And we do want a beacon. So what we want to do is we want to make some stuff here. That one. No, it goes a little bit in here. And these also need to be like so. And this will be our Holmium solution. And I want to just put some of this in. I'm being a little bit deliberate about when I use the normal quality and when I use the rare quality. Beacons should always have rare quality and be here, because that makes such a big difference. The core components here should be the ones that have higher quality, but stuff that isn't really in short supply, I don't really bother with using higher quality here, because they are much more, well, they are literally rare quality, so that's not a big surprise. And then we're going to get some water in, like that, and not this one. And then we're going to get another one with water that's going to come in sneaking in here. That's just taking the ice cubes, and then we can take you, that one, and that one, and then we can also get that down here. There. So we now have inputs. This just needs stone and holmium, so let's get that in here. We're going to get stone and holmium, and that also goes up here. But then here, this one also has ice cubes. Then we just, all we need is this, and then we get this across as well. There. And lights, maybe? Yeah, maybe some lights somewhere. We can not put lights anywhere. Damn. We'll put some lights up here. And yeah, that's fine. This is where we have the lights. And this one should also get it. So we can see that everything down here is affected by the beacon, but these are not affected by the beacon. So let's look at quantities. We have a surplus of this. I mean, I probably could do this and then it would still be fine, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would still be fine. Yeah. That means you could also just suffice with a smaller one here. And let me just see if that we could even go this far down, or it would still fit. Would it? No, then there'll be a slightly deficit. So either higher quality here or higher quality beacon. There. But anyway, that gets going. What we're seeing here is that this is just deleting, and it just circles back here until we get something that is high quality, and Holmium goes in here. That's a nice little build. I'm happy about it. I am actually so happy about it that I'm gonna get a few of these, because yeah, it's, if I do that and that, isn't that lovely? Here and here. So this is just taken care of. Now we have enough Holmium. How much we're producing from this? That's well, if we're producing 9, each of these is producing 10, so we produce 60, and then a quarter of that is, well, 16% of that is high quality. It's not going to be a lot we're producing. Maybe, well, we'll see. We'll see how much we're producing here, because this is the only place we're producing. So let's wait a bit, and then we'll see, come back and see how much we're actually producing per minute of this. Well, this is nice. So now the next part is we also want to make blue sticks, and we want to make blue capacitors. That's pretty much, that's going to be in these. And I want this to be, I want a small build. So I'm just going to go with the higher quality build here. Then I'm saying this is actually really important. So I'm going to be wasting, well, using some of these builds here, because I think they are very valuable. And this one will then be making the blue sticks there. But the thing is, we are going to get some epic quality, epic quality, epic quality of these. So why not also use those epic qualities for something? And we're also going to get some legendaries as well. 1, 2, 3. And there. And that means this one could be doing the same, but in legendary, in epic quality, and this one could be the same, but in legendary quality. Now here's the thing. I'm not so keen on the epic quality, so I'm actually going to be trying to get this one to be converted up into legendary, because if we get them to legendary, that's nice. If they're staying as epic, we'll find a use for them. It's not so important. Here and here and that one here. So let's find a way to get this sorted. That one. And this luckily transfers through, so we can just get something like this. This will be that one, which means we need a little bit of water. And this will pass through, and they will be feeding in here. Let's also get some power lines here and here, because I am going to get some inputs. We're going to get a single input from this, and that's going to in, and in. And that will just get like 50 of each. Then we're going to get the output. That will be here. Unfortunately, I can't get all of them into the same output, so I'm going to have to do this as output. Oh, I'm also needing to actually get this to be powered so it doesn't look annoying. There we go. And then we need some water as well. Let's do it over here just to make it symmetrical. Let's see. Oh, that should be here. That one, and this is ice cubes, which we'll get from here to here. And you are just going to be magically coming from up here somewhere. Right, and this one will just be ice cubes. And it will not get anything in here. There's nothing that needs to go into this one. And then I do want a beacon for this. There, and this should be... just use that. Because this beacon will affect these two, but it will not affect this one, which is affected by quality, so this cannot be beaconed, or should not be beaconed. Then I should sort of say how much do I want of this, and when will I stop, because I don't want to use... I don't want to accidentally consume all of this, but I also... well, I probably never will. So this one will just be set up to... let's just have a fixed amount of blue sticks, because blue sticks, it's nice and all, but... and when it's less than, you know, 1,000... oh, 1,000 is probably a nice number. There. That's also probably too much. So let's go 500. There we go. And I will not cap the other ones, because the other ones will be determined by the speed of the rare. The rare is what we get. So they'll just be there. So then I just set this on up. There we go. This is now added here. And annoying, because now I have to move it. Because I'm going to move it. I'm going to move it so that it fits with this one. Like that, maybe. Here. And a water pump. Can never find those. That's here. Boom. Water pump. Get in here. And that's happy. And there. So let's see if this works. This is working, as expected. And we just produce a lot of these. And these are set to... so I decided that I want this in higher quantity, which means I need productivity modules and a speed beacon. I could also take this as a quality build, so that there's a chance that it turns into epic. But I really don't like the epic ones. And I also, then it'd be really slow. And we do actually need quite a lot of these sticks for the beacon production. So this is nice. We're going to basically do the same thing over on this side here. But for the other part, the capacitors, because the principle is the same. And that's going to be the legendary, and this one's going to be the epic, that one. Right? And there, something like this. So how is this going to be different? All of these are just things that come in, but we do need some electrolyte. We can get it from over here, and that might actually be what I want to do, because that would make it a lot simpler. I am also getting this one, but I really don't know if I want to count on that being available in high enough quantity. Doesn't matter. I think this is something that would make sense to build. Ah, damn. It should be built over here, quite obviously. Like that. Like this somehow. And then, because then I can just use this one. And that goes in. Like so. And that cuts down on a lot of other things. If you want to have something that is more generic, then you can also do that. And this one, I just built it like this, perhaps. Let's see. Yeah, so what I could do was build this one as well. And then there. Then we can get you from out here. And then the other one, I can get all of that done. I really don't like that. I really think that we should just rely on this already being here. And then just build a small build, such as this. And that will also be down there. And then this can be moved up so that it is aligned. Like this, I think. Good. So that's working, and they will now have to get some oil into this location. So now this one is also configured here with the requesters, and obviously we're not getting as much as we'd like, and this is why we just set a very small amount, because hey, if it works, it works, and when it works, and it's fine. But what I want to do here is saying I'm only going to do this when my amount of here is less than the amount of sticks. Why? Well, because I don't want to be in a situation where I don't have any superconductors. Or yeah, the blue sticks, because everything has been converted into supercapacitors. And I don't mind having a full 500 of this, but I just want to make sure that it doesn't overtake. So if I'm consuming some more superconductors, which I will, then it'll pause the supercapacitor build until the superconductors have caught up. That's just a nice little thing. I think that makes sense, and I think that's a good way of doing it. Now the next thing we want to do is something pretty basic. We just want to make a hub up here. So we're going to be figuring out what it is we want here on this planet that we want to craft in rare quality that we have. And I'm just going to use this space here. This should be good enough. And then I'm going to just set up what I think will be valuable to have here. And suddenly everything gets super busy right now. So why does it get so busy? Well, it gets busy because this one also needs to be moved. There we go. And needs to be moved over here because that's where we decided that we are going to live now. There we go. And that destroys all of the intermediate production. Doesn't matter. Everything will be replenished as no more new stuff coming in. Yeah, so I'm kind of wondering if it really should be this high up. Okay, so what this does is this is setting up. This is the usual thing where we are getting it from the hub build here. And in here, I'm going to add a new one that's a hub rare quality, where I'm setting up how much I want of each of the different things. And if we look at it, then let's go in here. What are the things that I really want to make? So I heard some of them have to be building in a real weird way. So I really want this to be building inserters, because inserters here are really intensive on gears, and we have a stupid amount of gears. What electronic circuits, less of a boon here. We don't have as much, but that is actually why we have added this awful little design in there. And then that comes from blues and yellows, and then we can also make the longhand inserters. We're also going to make the assemblers. Then we're going to make the rocket part, these here, which is super amazing. That's a really good way of doing it. However, as you can see here, we need electric engines for this. We're also going to make some of the other things here, and I'm putting normal quality into these. This one's also going in there, but again, the electric engines. So the electric engines is something that we don't have, and we really need. All these things are things we get directly from the sorter. All the things directly from the sorter, directly from the sorter. It's just super nice, all the things that we have here. This one also from the sorter. This one, and then we also have like rockets, again with the engines. And then we have the concrete. The reason why we have the concrete here is, and this is speed module, is because I want it down here. This is where we need it for the refined. And then beacons as well, might as well, because we have all the things already. And then I'm also just saying, hey, you know what? Let's also try to make some more electronic circuits if we can, by just grabbing things in here. And there's a little bit of a caveat here, just saying, okay, I don't want to use my last iron, last rear iron for this. So if you are running out of iron, don't continue to make it into grid circuits. Likewise here, this will be kind of balancing between these. So if I have a lot of copper plates, then I'm going to take the copper plates and make them into copper wire and then get in. But if I don't have, if I have more copper wire, then I'm going to use the copper wire directly in here, which is what comes in here. Yeah, so you can see this is actually not coming in fast enough to even support it, but that's kind of fine. This is just building up until we have at least 1,000 of it, and then we have a better module, better accumulators here. We could also make better solar panels. It's one of those things where it's like both yes and no, because the solar panels, the solar panels are really expensive with the things that we don't have so much of here. But I think it's worthwhile to do it. This is there, but it does require a lot of electronic circuits, and then we'll just get it out here. This one is just this not uncapped. I think it's it's uncapped because it's capped this way. And you are gonna go that one, and then we can go up here just to illustrate how it works. We go down here and say, how many solar panels do we want? Rare quartz solar panels. Let's also say 200. We're not going to be used on this planet, but they might be useful for shipping to 50. We don't really need a lot of them. But they might be useful to ship to Aquilo or to spaceships, mainly spaceships. So we can do this and we'll just get 50 of it. That's a nice stack. Good, so this is now a hub. This is working fine, except for all the stuff that requires the electronic engines. So what we want to do is we want to make it electronic engines, and we might as well also make it into robots as well, because robots are something that's actually really easy to make once you have everything else. So that's going to be another block here, which we focus on engines. And engines are kind of annoying because they don't take a lot of resources, but they take a long time to make. And if I then want to here, that one, this is again something we have a lot of, and well, not a lot of, but that's why we are building it in here, this one. Yeah, so you need to get in there and then just make a lot of this because we need it. Good. And so now we need to make a build here. What I really want is I want a build like this. And let's see here. Then my idea is that it's gonna be just module, not just like this. I think it's super simple to do this, and I don't think there's any reason why not to. And I am not going to save the actual engines because I don't need them. So we've got to do like this. Let's get out here and power. Good, so this is going to be the design, and if I do this, then I have a slight surplus. So I want to stay with a surplus here, and if I do this, then I get use 3 resources. Oh, these ones have to be... Okay, wrong one. Here, and you are going to be good, like this. Now there is a slight deficit here. Well, it looks like a slight deficit, but it's actually kind of significant because it's only 70% I'm getting in of what I need, so that's no good. What if I do this? Then I have a very, very slight surplus, which is nice. So I'm going to do this and then just accept that it's only working at 20% productivity instead of 40% productivity. Yeah, but then I have this one running all the time. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to flip it like that. And then I am going to get this part here. There. Seems weird, but it makes sense. It will make sense. That one, flip it like that. And that will basically be our module, which we'll just jam all the way up here in the corner. Like that. And then scroll down. There we go. This is now connected. And how much will this actually produce? This will produce 2.4. So 2.4 of this quality or higher. Let's keep that in mind. Then what do we need inbound? We need some, or what else do we need? Well, I feel I'm missing something here. No. Well, we do need to set up how much, what they want. You could also get better modules here, but I think this is something that's we need so much, so we just use the basic modules. Then I want to make robots. If I build it down here, then it's kind of iffy, so I'm going to build it like this. So what kind of robots do I want? I want legendary robots here. I want also legendary here. Then I want the epic ones, and I want epic here. And then I want rare, and I want rare. Then I also want to make sure that I can actually do some of this. And that comes in from here. That can come in from anywhere. We'll just get it from whatever edge is closer. And then it's just a matter. This will of course be lubricant. And then we need some setup here. Yep. We'll just get that's kind of sucks. That one, and probably like this. Cool. So let's get some requesters in for these as well. Okay, we set up requesters for everything, and now it's just a matter of getting some lubricant in, or some heavy oil in. That gets into lubricant, that goes out here, and then it should hopefully get this one filled up gradually, and then they start working on this. What I should also do is have this being also filtered. So how many do I want? 500. That's a nice number, right? There we go, 500. This one will then just be tamped down all the place. And we even got legendary ones. So here's the thing, right? We could argue that, and I think I actually will argue that it's better to do this, because otherwise eventually they could actually be filling up with the wrong kind of product here. So now, that's definitely not what we want to put in the blueprint here. There we go. Good. And these here should also be quality updated, because there's just a chance of getting it better than what we have. And then that actually means that we should also build over here a little interesting little build. Let's see, that's actually better. Oh, here, and let's see, the same distance as well. Okay, so what do I want to build here? I want to build some requesters inbound. They will be getting here, and they will be, I'm going to be monitoring from here. I'm going to take read robot statistics, so that's Y for logistics and T for construction. So this one will be enabled when Y is less than 2000. And this other one will be when T is less than 2000. That's just means that I want 2000 of each. And then I want to get Y is this one. That's definitely not it. Oh no, this is actually it. And I also want that, and yeah, and then the other one, it's going to be the same thing, but for you. Might as well take these. And then the question is whether I really want to put construction bots in here, or I want to just make sure the construction bots sort of stay in my inventory. Then there is another interesting thing about this that is I would also recommend doing. Let's get that one back. That one. And this will be here. And then I am going to get Do I not have that? Oh, I do have it somewhere. So this will be only taking the normal quality out. There. So that's going to take the normal quality out. And then what I can do is I can just request the normal quality to go in here. So if I have any normal quality in here, for example, let's just put some normal quality into somewhere. Oh my god, everything is jammed. That one. Right, so they should be now transferring down here because they're being requested to this location, and then as they transfer, they will be taken out of the network and emptied. There we go, and emptied and just be turned into raw components. I don't want to use a quality on this because then it could turn into uncommon quality, and I don't want uncommon in my logistics network. So this is basically how you empty the network and replace with higher quality. And if we later on want to replace the uncommon ones or this, then I can just request them in here. That's how that works. So this is done. This one's done, but it's not really working because we still don't have the actual flying robot frames, which should be pretty easy to get. So let's try to build what that would look like. That will just be that this is super slow. So let's build that, and it has to be module. So again, let's do a module build. I am going to do this because I know that it has 2 inputs and 1 output. So we're going to do the, I don't know, like let's say basic builds that for this I always do. Yeah. And that one goes up. Down. Here, and basically I want to say inbound, outbound, inbound, outbound. And on oh, it's the other way around. Ha. There. And then this one is again inbound, inbound, outbound, outbound, and then the last ones are here, here, and here, and here. That's just, I think that's a nice build of sort of really compact. It also leaves room for some of these here, that one, and this is very much repeatable. So I just need to get this, and I have it. Let's start from the top like this. That's gonna be too much, so we'll build it like this, and we can build 2 of these in the space that we have available. Great. Yes, and then we just need some power poles. That will be one down here. There. All of that is working, and then I just need a fancy way to get things in here because it has to go. These will be outbound. Yeah. And that will just go into a box. And should that be capped? I mean, everything should be capped in generally. So stop it if you get 500 of these. That seems reasonable. There. Right, so now I need to get in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my, I would say, usual thing. And oops. There. Because then I can get here. There's 4 items inbound. These 4, and they're not in high quantity because it's super slow. So this is going to be my, oh, that's the wrong type of box. That one. That's going to be my premise. I'm going to build that here so that it can go in here, and the other one can go. I'm going to do the other one. Yeah, and you are gonna go out and like that. There you go. That's I think that's a neat way of doing it. And then we just need to, oh, this is also very important. Make sure that you are actually filtering these outbounds. And what should the other one is batteries, and this one is steel, and this one is engines. And then we just need to request it. Now these are requested, but they are not really, they're not necessarily getting enough. What I'm also thinking is that maybe, just maybe, I don't want the top one to be like this. I could instead, the outbound is fine, this one as well. Oh, look at that. Someone has been making mistakes all the way through this. Damn. Okay, fixed. Right, so that goes back, but then I still want to have these two. And input, 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 right? I don't think I really need that much. No, actually I do. Right, so these ones will now be saying, well, you know, this one is actually going to do exactly the same, but we're going to be trying to make it in epic, and this one should be exactly the same. It should just be trying to make it in legendary. And if that's the case, then we should have for these, not that, obviously, because that doesn't work. And then they just get in here. And then, yeah, actually, we only need one box inbound. Oops. So we don't need two boxes. There. Only need that inbound. Copy, paste, and then we just set this up a little bit. I know we won't have any of these, but hey, when we get, we'll be happy. There you go. And the same over on this side. Copy, paste, and 10 of these. This just means that if we get some legendary or some epic and legendary quality, what are they called? They're called flying robot engines. Then they will not be wasted. They will actually be put in here to be trying to upgrade this one's house. Look at that. We're actually getting a little bit of the legendary here. This one, could that be? Let's do that at least. That would be like very valuable. It doesn't matter how slow it is because it's still a good move. And then we get a legendary flying robot frame, which will go over here and become a legendary robot. Cool. So that is basically all we have here. I think I want some lights somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know. I want lights. There. Oops. There. Yes. I just need some lights here. And there we go. That's the lights. And this one also has lights. So what we have now is we have a production of engines, which we use for these components here. Then we, all the rocket components, the grabbers, the crushers, and the engines. They need engines. And so that's now sorted. Then we are also using it for robots or for flying robot frames, and that goes into making robots. So now we actually have a supply of robots here. If we look at our network, we can see that I have not actually put any legendary construction bots in there yet. But there might be. They're sitting here waiting. And there's actually 52 of those. So, you know, it is producing some, and it's really nice. All of this is working, and we now have the hub that's taking care of all the rare components. So now basically we just got done with Fulgura in terms of rare quality things. What we can and should do as the next thing is build a better module production, because all this is also really heavily focused on getting as much modules as possible. But we'd also like this to stabilize and just settle into whatever it needs. So I hope this was useful, interesting for you, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Remember, as a patron supporter, you get the cool blueprints we've just designed. Not only the ones we designed, but also the amendments to these, and also the amendments, the train stations as well, and the train stop here as well. Let's include all of that so that you can get your Fulgura base going as well. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Until then, take care and stay effective.